Good morning, students. I'm your botany teacher. My name is Yasmin. I'm going to take biobotany for you. Before going into the topic, I want to talk a few words, a few things about the scope of botany for you in future. First, you have choose. I think many might have choose the science subject to learn or to study to become a doctor, a dental specialist in either to join in dental or medical courses or to join in the paramedical courses like BPT or BOT. And not only that, that is not the only thing. You have also got many courses, many scope in the botany. You can become a plant explorer. Explorer means nothing but you have to find the different species or different kinds of plants present in the world. You can find out the different kinds of plants present in the world, present in any particular area. And also you can become an horticulturist. Horticulturist is nothing but garden cultivation. An agriculturist, you can become agriculturist, an ecologist, environmentalist, and conservationist. Not conservation means to see now our world is polluted. To save the environment, you can learn botany, how to conserve for the future generation. And also in molecular biology, you've got ample number of courses, so no need to worry. If you're not getting in medical group also, you can join this type of courses and you can shine, because these number of this number of courses have got many opportunities in foreign countries also. That's it, children, and we'll move to the topic. Before that, last year in your 11th standard, you might have studied the difference between the living organism and the non-living organism, attributes of the living organisms, characteristics of the living organisms, and then also the particular bacteria, like bacteria, as you might have learned, cyanobacteria prepares its own food, blue color, and then and also mycorrhiza, lichens. These things you might have learned in the last year. This year topic is related to the reproduction. First chapter is related to the reproduction in plants. What is reproduction? It is nothing but a new generation is formed. A reproduction is a special thing, it's a vital process. If it is not there, a new generation cannot be formed. You agree with me? Yes, that's a good thing. Without reproduction, no new species cannot be formed in this world. A plant will be plant itself, and a new plant will not be formed, and there will not be a new species found in this world, and the world will be of dry. Yes, and the evolution and the environment will be corrupted, because we are all dependent on the plants. All living organisms are dependent on the plants, and the ecosystem will be affected. If there is no plant and no animals, no human beings, so we are all interconnected. The food web, the food chain, everything will be stopped. So reproduction is a vital process. And in your textbook, many scientists' names were given, and these scientists, they have described and they have discovered many science, many things related to the plant, the parts of the plant, and what are the organs involved in the reproduction of the plants. Everything they have discovered. And one of the scientists called Maheshwari, P. Maheshwari, his name is it's given as Panchanan Maheshwari, is a male. He is an eminent botanist. Eminent means nothing but a famous botanist. Eminent means famous botanist. He has discovered many things related to embryology, morphology, and anatomy. Embryology means the egg formation from the small one. Morphology, you might have learned in your 11th standard all the morphologies, the external appearance, that is related to morphology. And anatomy is nothing but the parts. He has discovered all these things, and he has published a book called An Introduction to the Embryology of Angiosperm. He established the International Society for Plant Morphologists. He also established a society. And angiosperms. You might have learned in your 11th standard about the angiosperms and the gymnosperms. What are angiosperms and gymnosperms? They are the seeded plants, the plants with seed. Gymnosperms, the seeds are not covered, they are naked, they are visible to the eye. The seeds are directly visible to the eye. In angiosperms, they are protected by the covering. That is the main difference between angiosperms and gymnosperms. Angiosperms are prevailing 200 years before, gymnosperms are prevailing 200 years before the angiosperms. And later only angiosperms are developed, and they have shown, these angiosperms are shown many morphological characters, several changes in the external structure of the plant. So we'll go to the topic reproduction. There are two types of reproduction in plants. One is asexual reproduction and number two is sexual reproduction. What is asexual? Asexual reproduction is nothing but the new species is formed without the fusion of the gametes. The male gametes and the female gametes, they are not fused. So two plants, they will not come into contact, and single plant itself will reproduce and it will give one more new plant. A single plant will give a new plant without the fusion with the other plant. In the book it is given as, it's a method which helps to perpetuate its own species without the involvement of the gametes. What do you mean by perpetuate the own species? Perpetuate means to maintain the species or to sustain the species, to make going, to keep going, to preserve the species, For example, hibiscus is a flowering plant. It is giving red color flower. This is from the olden days, it is maintained. The same hibiscus is producing the same red color flower till now. It is perpetuating, it is preserved, it is sustained, it is maintained from the olden day to now. Why? That is reproducing. How it is reproducing? Reproducing, and it is giving a new species. Got it? And in your 11th standard, you might have learned about in the lower organisms like bacteria and all, the reproduction may be either by the conidia formation. You have learned in your 12th standard. Conidia is nothing but the small spores, and or by the budding. Yeast. In yeast, the reproduction is by budding or by fission. You have got many other processes, and also by fragmentation, by breakdown, and also by breakdown the reproduction is done. And let's move to the topic asexual reproduction by vegetative method. What is vegetative method? Vegetative method, you have got natural methods. What are the natural methods that are involved in the reproduction? In natural method, it is an asexual reproduction in which a bud grows and develops into a new plant. From the bud, a new plant is formed. When the new plant is formed from the bud gets separated from the older plant, and again the new plant will grow. The bud may be formed in the root, stem or leaf. The bud may be formed either in the root, stem or in the leaf. So the bud is formed either of the three, and when the bud is formed, from the bud a new plant will arise. When the new plant comes to grow, after growing, the bud gets separated from the older plant and it will form a new plant. This is one type of natural method. It's a natural method. Natural means இயற்கையாகவே தானாகவே உருவாகக்கூடியது இதெல்லாம். That is natural method. No need of manual, no man is going to do anything. It's a natural method. It occurs naturally without any influence of the man or any medicine or anything. You are not going to put anything. It is occurring naturally. Naturally by the creation of the God. The bud is formed. I'm repeating, listen carefully. A bud is formed in the root, stem or the leaf. And from the bud a new plant arises and it gets separated from the parent plant. A new plant will grow. The organs involved in this reproductive structures are called as reproductive propagules or diaspores. Propagules or diaspores. The organs involved in this type of reproduction, they are called reproductive propagules or diaspores. Yes. When we'll go deep into the vegetative reproduction in root. In root, how the vegetative reproduction occurs. We'll take some of the root plants like this Murraya and Dalbergia. A picture is given. If you see that, a tree will be there. Listen carefully. A tree will be there. From the root, a new plant arises. And the new plant will grow and it will give a new variety of plant. A new plant arises from the old plant root. Murraya, an example given in your book is Murraya. The name is Murraya. Murraya. And Dalbergia, a famous Dalbergia, and some tuberous adventitious root apart from developing buds also store food. And where the adventitious roots, these are the types of roots where the bud is formed, and from that bud a new plant arises, and these all things are formed from the root. I told you 3 parts are involved. One is the root, the stem and leaf. Example is Murraya. Murraya is a tree. From the tree a new bud arises from the adventitious root, and from that root a new plant arises. Listen carefully, see the picture. From the big plant root a new plant arises. Example is Murraya. A parent plant, it is getting detached. It will get, I told you, after growing for certain period, for limited period. If it is grows very well, what happens? It gets detached. Detached means get separated. Detached means get separated, and the new plant will grow. And this is the, when will the new plant will grow? Under the certain suitable conditions. Suitable conditions means what? If all the conditions are clear. If the plant is getting ample water, more water, if the plant is getting all the sunlight, everything that is needed for the growth, it will become a new plant and get separated from the parent plant. And next we'll move to the plant that is growing in the stem. How the bud is formed in the stem. I'll show you some thing. Listen, this is a potato. If you see the potato, listen carefully, see the potato. The bud is formed. See the bud? Yes. Potato is a stem or a root. It's a stem. See the bud. From this bud, a new plant arises. And also in ginger. If you see the ginger, the tip, see, a bud will be formed and it will give rise to your new. And you might have seen in Musa paradisiaca, that is nothing but the banana plant. This plant has not got any seeds or no need to sow seeds to grow this plant. This plant, if you keep one banana plant, after 2 or 3 years, if you go and see, you can see more 4 to 5 plants will be surrounding that banana. This is the type of vegetative reproduction using the stem. And also in book it's given as Ginger officinalis, that is nothing but the ginger. Next is colocasia and curcuma, turmeric. Colocasia is nothing but semekilangu in Tamil. Okay, and also listen, not this type of stem, we have also got many other types. I'll teach you, listen carefully. I think you are all taking the notes. See, some plants grow in different ways. See, some plants, see, this is the plant. From the stem, again a new stem arises, and from the new stem a new plant will grow. Okay, this may be called as offset, sucker, stolons. In chrysanthemum, pistia, chrysanthemum is nothing but samandi. samandi, then in this potato, all these things you have seen this type of growth. Stolon means from the stem. From the stem, a new stem will arise. New stem will arise. And also in some thing like along with this thing, the sucker plants. Sucker plants, they grow along with the stem. Along with the stem. Sucker plants are like this. See, this is a stem, plant. Along with the stem, one more stem arises. In offset, in runners, the stem will grow for some distance. Runner means it will grow for some distance and a new plant will grow. That is runner. Runner. Think literal meaning. Literal meaning, runner means konja dooram poi it will make a new plant. And in suckers and all, from the same plant, a new branch, new stem arises. From the same stem, a new stem, a new plant. The different types that pictures are shown here. See, you can see that runner. See, the stem is growing for some time and a new plant is produced. In stolon, the stem, they become bend and then grow. In offset, from the stem, a new thing. And chrysanthemum, I told you, from the same stem. Samandi, if you go and see the samandi cherries, you might have seen in your patch, in your area, the same stem, new plant will arises. And that's all about the stem. And next is the leaf. From the leaf, how new plant will arise. Same thing, apical bud. From the tip of the leaf, a bud is formed. From the bud, from the leaf, a new plant will grow. After it is growing, it is getting detached or separated and a new plant will arises. They are called as epiphyllous bud. And it's given as succulent. Succulent means more water is stored. It is more water. They develop from the new plant, forming a root system and become independent. What they are telling is, see, from the leaf, a bud is formed. From the bud, a new plant grows. From the plant, the roots will arise. When the root arises, it gets fixed to the soil and becomes a new plant and gets separated from the older plant. And what are the advantages of this vegetative reproduction? Why vegetative reproduction is necessary? Advantages, I told you, reproduction is necessary. No manual thing is needed for natural reproduction. It naturally occurs. And one more thing, only one parent is involved. No need of two parents. One plant is enough to grow the many plants. And then a new individual. The second point is a new individual is formed genetically similar. Genetically similar, morphologically similar means they are same. I told you, for example, hibiscus. The next hibiscus, the new hibiscus, or for example, we will take chrysanthemum itself. A new chrysanthemum formed will be of same. If it is an yellow flower, this is also an yellow. Bright yellow means this is also bright yellow. It will not give a light bright yellow. The same color will be there. So it is same thing is formed. And it enables to spread easily. A new plant is formed easily. This is useful for the horticulturists, the garden cultivations. They can do the flowering plants. No need of using many manual methods or no need of using any manipulations, many medicines or anything. Nothing is needed. Naturally, they can use this type of method, vegetative reproduction. And only disadvantage is they are genetically same. I told you, one color will give the same color plant. But today's world, we need attractiveness. What we need? If the hibiscus is flowering in red, we want in blue or pink. Yes or no? We need a different morphologically and genetically different species. But that is not produced by this vegetative method of reproduction. So I repeat from the first, listen carefully. There are two types of reproduction. One is asexual and sexual. Asexual method is a new species is formed. It is perpetuated. It is maintained without the fusion of gametes. No fusion. Only one plant is involved. How it is formed? I told you it is formed by natural method. Natural method means no man is involved, no need of manpower. It grows naturally. I told you bud is formed. Bud is formed in 3 regions. What are the regions? Root, stem and leaves. In the root, if it is formed, from the root a new plant arises. Muraya. We have seen example. And stem I have shown you the bud formed in the potato, ginger, all these things. And the Musa paradisiaca, banana plant, how it is going. Banana plant is an example of reproduction in stem. Next is leaf. For example, a very good example is chrysanthemum. From the leaf, the bud is epiphyllous bud. This epiphyllous bud is formed, and epiphyllous bud, new plant arises, and from the plant, roots will arise, fixes the plant to the soil. When the new plants grows according to the situations, if it grows nicely, it will get separated, get detached from the parent plant, and it will grow separately. So the 3 types is vegetative propagation by root, stem and leaf. That's it. And we have seen the advantages. Advantages I told you, one advantage is only one plant is involved, and many more species or many more different types of plants produced rapidly. Many plants are produced rapidly. And then the second point is the plants are genetically similar, same. Whatever the parent is having, the same thing is having, the child is also having the same thing. Only one disadvantage. Disadvantage means what? Only one disadvantage is the plant produced, they are not genetically different. I told you the red color hibiscus will produce the same red color hibiscus. But today's world we need a different kind. So they are genetically identical. That is the only one drawback in vegetative propagation. Next we will move to artificial method. Artificial, what is artificial? Artificial is natural method. Opposite to natural method is artificial. Artificial method, man uses his brain and he manipulates his ideas, and he uses his ideas and he develops certain technique for growing new varieties of plant. That is by different method. First one is cutting, and this type of method is used for long time, and conventional method, they are very conventional methods. They are used for long time, any period. This artificial method, they are called as conventional methods. What are the conventional methods? You are going to see that in our. They are nothing but the cutting, grafting and layering. The 3 types of artificial methods are cutting, grafting and layering. In cutting, you cut some of the parts of the plant like root, stem, and take the plant and you will make them to grow in some other region, some other area. You pluck from one plant from one street, and you will grow in some other street. That will grow. That is called as cutting. You cut the plant and you can grow. For example, this type of root cutting is seen in hibiscus and moringa. Moringa is nothing but moringa maram. This type of plants, you can cut the plant and you can grow in any area. It will grow. And next is grafting. Grafting, you need 2 plants. One plant is known as the stalk and the other plant is known as the scion. First you should know what is the stalk. Stalk is a rooted plant. To the rooted plant, you are going to graft. You are going to attach the different plant. You are going to join. See, one plant is there. You are going to graft. Graft means you are going to join. You are going to make an incision in this place and you are going to join a plant and you are going to bandage it. From this, a new plant will arise. This is called as grafting. There are 3 types of grafting. I think 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 types of grafting. One is bud grafting, approach grafting, tongue grafting, crown grafting and wedge grafting. I think we can see these things in the next class. So I will repeat the thing. Asexual reproduction, we have seen the natural method. Natural method, bud formation in root, stem and leaf. Artificial method, we have seen cutting, grafting. And the different types of grafting we can see in the later classes. Thank you, children.